Next steps for the half bath. I thought I could get away with not replacing where the floor had rotted here, but I need to replace this section. I wouldn't have to try too hard to put my foot right through there, I can tell. So I don't have to replace too much. Just have to, it's already marked. Here's where a stud is. And then of course, or not stud, floor joist. The other floor joist here. So that'll pull up. I'm gonna cut here. So I drilled a couple holes because I wanted to be certain I knew where the stud was. So this is the edge of it. This other line would be the center. I'm actually gonna cut along the edge first because I'd rather cut not enough than too much, because I need to leave enough of this side to still be able to keep it nailed to the floor joist, right? So I'll make my cut, make sure that it's kind of right along the joist, and then when I'm sure, make the other cut, right? Measure twice, cut once, well, I guess cut twice, but the first one's kind of a exploratory cut. Do that with the plunge saw, and I'll take it from there. Took care of that first cut, the exploratory cut, and the floor joist is exactly where I expected it to be. So cut right along the floor joist. So next, I'll cut another 3/4 of an inch so that I'll have it to the center of the floor joist. Gives me enough room to nail the new piece of wood on there. So let's see. Okay, we are directly above the garage right now. So you may notice something. There's not enough insulation here. These are 2x10 floor joists, 2x10 cavity, but the insulation, it's R13 insulation meant for 2x4 cavity. So there's a lot of room here for some more insulation to hold in the heating. This could take R30 insulation, so higher R value, the better it is insulated. So this of course has me thinking that everywhere between the garage and the living space is likely just this, not enough insulation. So that's this bathroom and all 3 of the bedrooms. So someday I'll probably want to address that. I'll have to do it from the garage, take down the sheetrock ceiling, and add insulation, because that'll really help with heating. For now, it's better than nothing, but not really what I wanted to see. Almost done patching up the floor. So I of course had to cut this new piece into 2 so that I could get it around the pipe. Now before I secure this final piece, I want to show you something that I did here. If I can move this with just one hand. Okay, so I got some scrap pieces of plywood, clamped them up to the existing floor, screwed them in. So that gives me support for the new piece of wood. So did that there, and here, because the floor cavity goes this way, right? The joists go that way, and I'm tiling this, so I didn't want the floor to have any more give than it has to, because if it were a give under the tile, you're going to end up with cracked tile. So now this whole piece acts as one, once it's all screwed together. So get that screwed in, and we'll be all done patching. Floor is all prepped for the next layer. So I've got my cement board, Hardy Backer board, all sized up, cut. I had that laid out on the ground a minute ago, so we know it fits. Pulled that back up, so I'm gonna mix up the thin set mortar, right? Mix it up in this bucket, then spread that on there. Cement board goes on, screw that in, then I get to do another layer of mortar, which the tile adheres to. All right, let's get that mixed. Got my big mixer, mixing up the mortar. It is time to tile the half bath. I've been procrastinating on this a bit, but I have good reason, and that's because I don't like doing tile. I don't like doing tile. It's just, there's a lot of dust, mixing the mortar, a lot of setup, a lot of cleanup, cutting the tiles a pain. Yeah, remember a few years ago, I sold my house in Connecticut, moved into my cabin, wood floors, wood walls, told myself I was never going to do tile again, was never going to do sheetrock again. And then I found a woman. I'm doing tile, doing sheetrock, building drawers from scratch. I'm doing sheetrock, but I'm not allowed to put the walls where I want to. So, man, the things we do for boobs, worth it. I'm gonna get yelled at for that comment, also worth it. Anyway, let's get to tiling. Okay, just getting started here. Got everything handy where I need it. The floor prepped, so mix the mortar, get the tile on there. I mixed the mortar outside, helps a bit with the dust when you're pouring it in there. So now we wait 5 to 10 minutes, mix it again, then you're ready to go. Tile is in, good, glad to be done with that. And now, gotta grout the tile. So first I'm gonna go around with a grout scraper and just take care of any high points in the thin set mortar. So, you know, you push the tiles in, sometimes it may cause the mortar to squish up between the tiles, and just want to make sure I have enough depth there to get the grout in. Go around, do that, vacuum. Then, so I got the pre-mixed grout. Never used the pre-mix before because it costs more, but this is a small room, so I don't eat too much, and I may have said I'm sick of dust, so don't have to deal with dust. Pre-mixed stuff. I've got just plastic putty knife so that I can get the grout out of there, throw it onto my grout float, just a rubber float, and then I'll push the grout in there at a 45-degree angle. Let that dry for a bit. Wipe off any excess grout with a damp sponge. Then when all that's done, I'll seal it with grout sealer. Just gives you a little extra protection. Now I'll wipe off the excess grout. Tiling is all done. I just sealed the grout with that stuff and ready to put the toilet in there. Installing a toilet is actually pretty easy. There's 2 bolts that are going to hold it to the waste pipe. You're just going to have one hose for the water, and then you'll have 2 more bolts that are going to hold the tank onto the pot. So, oh, and then the seat, of course, right? But, so get these 2 bolts, you slide them in to the toilet flange there, and bolt down that first nut. That wing nut can come off, that's what's going to hold the toilet down, and then you've got like a white cap that goes over the wing nut just to make it look cleaner. So that holds it to the ground. You've got a wax ring that goes onto the toilet. So toilet drain right there, the toilet's upside down. Got this wax ring. So this actually was an all-in-one kit. It came with everything. Sometimes you have to buy this separate. Take the plastic off that, you put that onto the toilet first. It goes on there. Then you flip the toilet over, right? And that'll be that way. And then, like I said, tighten up the first bolt, the first nut on your bolts. Good there. And good there. Flip that over, drop it right in its place. There, that's bolted on. Got those caps over the bolts to make it look nice. Now I'll go grab the tank. So the tank, a little different than what I'm used to. It's just a little, got a bit more fancier stuff going on the inside. I'll show in a second. But same basic stuff, 2 bolts that gonna go through the top of the pot, bolt them on there, not too tight, don't want to crack the porcelain. The water line will attach there, and then the other side will attach to the water, the water line. So yeah, the inside is just to make it an extra, well not I think, it's to make it an extra powerful flush. Got some extra components going on there. The previous toilets I've done are just, you'd be able to see the bolts right in there, but these ones are first holding in that extra equipment. So yeah, so those are already in there, and I'll get that attached. Got the water tank secured, got the water line secured, but still off. I'm about to flip on the valve, the water valve. I've got buckets and a towel ready just in case, but should be good. I mean, honestly, if there is any sort of leak, just flip the valve back off. It's obviously doing its job now. Okay. Should finish filling up pretty quickly. Let's see. No leaks. Nice. Okay, so no leaks from the water line. No leaks here. There's no water in the pot, so we'll have to flush it once to get the water down there, and then we'll check, verify our seal between the pot and the tile floor. Sweet, first flush. The seat's on and we've got a second usable toilet.